All right, goofies. Ah! There we go. All right, we good. We're gonna record. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Part-Timers. My name is Lane, and that's right, it's just me. Funny enough, you know, we haven't done an episode in like 2-3 weeks. It's been a while, man. I haven't even really seen Miguel that much. Some things happen with his life. He ain't feeling so good, so all prayers up to him. Hopefully he gets feeling better, because right now y'all get the boring person, so y'all don't get the exciting, fun person that's been through everything. So this episode is going to be a little bit weird, but because it's a part-timer, not the part-timers, you know, that doesn't make any sense. But I am going to go ahead and brag a couple, you know, I'm going to take a couple minutes to brag on Miguel, because he's not here, so he can't tell me anything different. So I get to say whatever I want to without him, you know, get mad at me. Brother. So first and foremost, I want you to know how we even became friends. I mean, like, we get it. We said it a little bit on the first 2 episodes, but I didn't really get into it. I didn't get to really tell my side of how we actually became friends and how we actually got acquainted with each other. So we work at this place called Jefferson's. It's in Ringgold, and we have several different locations, but the one we work at is in Ringgold. So we have like, we first started out, I was a server. He was just a worker. He lived relatively close, so it was convenient for him just to be able to walk there, because he didn't have a car. And my dad ended up works right across the street. So I wanted to be closer to him. So we kind of just settled at Jefferson's, and we really didn't talk off the rip. I mean, I thought he was a weirdo. I thought he was like cool, but I also thought he was a weirdo. So it's like, and he thought I was a douchebag. So it kind of like, we didn't know each other, so we just assumed the worst. I mean, that's how we do it. But he, after we started talking a little bit, it turns out he was a cool guy. So I was like, oh shit, he's a cool guy. I'm gonna be friends with that dude. So we started talking, and our conversations just ended up lasting forever. I mean, we was complete opposites, so it was kind of like going back and forth, boom, 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 and it just ended up. We was nice. We was good to each other. So we became friends. I wouldn't say on how much friends, but we was friends when we was acquainted with each other. We got along. So I figure that's what friends are. For the dog, woo! Regardless. So Miguel, where was that? Oh yeah, me and him was talking, and we just went back and forth, and we just kept talking over and over and over again, and we just ended up having a blast every single time that we ever did anything with each other. And I remember the first time we actually hung out, it was because I live about 30 minutes away from where I work at. It's sort of a hindrance, but at the same time it's not. And since he lived relatively close, it was about 30 minutes away from his house. So I would always have to drive over to his house, pick him up, and then drive back towards my way to go to anything relatively cool, because Chattanooga does have cool places, by the way. It has great places, but, you know, where he lived, there wasn't really that many good places. I don't know, whatever. So we would always go back to Chattanooga, and we would have a drink. We would, you know, just talk for a while, and we ended up talking like forever. And one day we was like, you know what, man, we should do a podcast. And he's like, man, that's what everybody tells me. We need to do a podcast. Oh, but no one actually does it. Whatever. And I was like, well, we can actually do it. So the first and foremost, how we even got started was, I had my phone. We had a car. I would set up my phone in my car. I would turn the car off so we don't have any noise, and I would hit record button, and we would just talk. And the first time we did this was we went to the Pickle Barrel, and we just set up the phone, hit record. We did our little intro and all that, and we got interrupted by this homeless person for I don't know how long. I mean, we just kept knocking on a window. I want a Coke. I want a water. I said, well, they can give you water, whatever. And Miguel, how being nice as he is, he gave her some money, and she just kept bothering her, and I was like, Well, regardless, he's a sweet guy. So that was our first time. That episode's never gonna get released. It's not. It's just it wasn't who. I mean, we was trying so hard to be entertaining that it was just we said the darndest of things. It would be forever on my phone. And now Miguel would say, go up to our patronage and sign up. We don't have one, so. But yeah, we had this for a while, and we just kept doing it on our phones. Well, every single time I would go on my phone and I would try to get this audio, it would be like the shittiest audio you will ever hear in your life. So I was like, Miguel, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we had a lot of conversations, and I have about like 4-6 hours on my phone of conversations that I will release it one day if that's something that y'all would like to see. But I was like, you know what? We have to do this with mics. And so I asked him, I said, well, would you want to come over? And I have a mic, and we can record something. And he said, yeah, sure. So we got here. This is the first time we ever did the podcast. We're like, let's knock out 2 of them. Let's knock out 2 podcasts and be done with it. I'll be like, hell yeah. So first one, we came up, we just talked. We were sober for the most part. We wasn't really that sober. We had like a couple beers beforehand here. And we did the first episode, and it was just, I mean, it was all right. We was like, oh man, hell yeah, dude, we sound so good. It was that first time feeling, whereas like, we hear our voices in these, microphones that are like somewhat good, somewhat not. And we rocked with it. We rolled with it. We popped with it. Flocked with it. Call me Skittles. We rocked with it, and then we went outside, and we was no longer sober. So we went up to the second episode, and the second episode was just, it was us all over the place because we was, like I said, we was not sober. I'm not going to tell you what we did. Y'all can figure that out. But anyways, we wasn't sober. So we recorded this episode, and it wasn't our best. And we was just kind of like, oh, whatever. We can do better. And this was right before he went on vacation. So we did this. We had 2 episodes finished. And this was before the video thing. So we didn't even focus on that. So it was easy. All we had to hit is a record button, make sure our audio levels were good, and we was golden. And so he went on vacation, so we didn't see each other for about 2 weeks, and then we decided on every Monday we would actually record an episode. So Monday came along, and he came over again, and we was like, man, we need to get video up on this thing. And I tried my very best. I had this shitty Canon camera that I've had for a while, and I still record with it, and you can definitely tell on who has the good camera and who has the shitty camera. We kind of switch out every podcast episode. He'll have the good camera, and then I'll have the good camera, and then he'll have the good camera, whatever. And so we just kept swapping out, and we enjoyed doing it. I mean, but like I said, the first episode, it was like a Halloween episode, I think is what we did. It was episode 3. We wanted to do the camera, and it didn't work. And then it was just the footage was just shitty. And then the second time we did it, at this point I bought myself a $3,000 camera. Don't do what I did. I mean, I wanted to do it because I'm going to use this camera for other things, but for the most part, I just bought a $3,000 camera because I was like, man, we need 2 cameras for this podcast. Why not it gives me a reason to spend a lot of money. Don't do that. That sucked. Well, regardless, we got this other camera, and we was recording it, and it was, everything went pretty well. We had the episode done. We was like, fuck yeah, dude, this is going to be awesome. And in the podcast, we talked about the video. We was like, man, we're going to have a video. This is the first time you see in our faces, blah, 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 blah. It didn't happen. Y'all didn't see our faces because we didn't have our shit together. So we ended up posting that episode because we only recorded one episode because we was dealing with all the camera stuff. And we got all the footage and we put it to the computer. Well, when we put it to the computer, it said the SD card was corrupted, and that we had to format the card and it would delete all the footage. So we had my side of the footage, but we didn't have Miguel's. And I just bought this camera, so I thought it was something wrong with the camera. It wasn't wrong with the camera. Don't worry. Dude, when I tell you, I spent like, me and Miguel, he was just sitting there looking on TikTok. We were sending each other TikToks. We waited about 2 to 3 hours to try to get this footage back. I mean, it was corrupted, so like we tried to go to how to uncorrupt a file, how to do this, how to do that. And we just could not for the life of us do it because all these people want us to pay. I'm not going to pay. We're broke. Are you kidding me? But we was like, we need to get this footage because we talked about it, all this, and we didn't want to re-record it, whatever. We ended up not even doing the video. We ended up just posting it and no video. So that's a mystery that y'all have to figure out. And then the second time we recorded a video, we was like, all right, we're going to get this right. And this was the next Monday. We're like, well, all right, we're going to get this right. We set up the recording, recorded it for a little bit, like we did like a test. Or no, we recorded the whole podcast. We was like making sure everything was in focus. We're good. Boom. Hit record. Not even joking. I didn't even think about the SD card being corrupted. I thought it was just that video. So I put the SD card back in the other camera. Well, we get that bitch on the computer. Guess what? It's corrupted again. So we're like, motherfucker. And this was like we did a whole episode. I mean, this was like 40 to 50 minutes long, okay, of footage that was just lost. And we was like, shit, we're not doing this again. We are going to just post audio again. We posted audio again, just audio. And let me tell you, me and Miguel, we both, I mean, we was so tired of doing this. I mean, it was exhausting. It was something that we were just like, damn. I was like, man, is it even worth this effort to go through all this, to do all that? We're spending so much money into this podcast, and it's just, it was a lot. And but we prevailed. All right, we might just be part-timers, but we're not quitters, damn it. We're not quitters. And the next week came around, and I was like, and I went to Walmart. I bought 2 brand new SD cards. It was like 64 gigabytes. I bought 2 brand new ones, one for the Canon and one for the Sony. And we weren't going to get this wrong. We was going to get this right 100%. And like, listen, our test footage, we spent like, I think we recorded a 5-minute episode of just us fucking around, and we put it to the computer. We actually edited, or I showed Miguel the editing process on what I had to do for the video, and it was like, all right, we got this. It looks good. It looks great. How do we adjust? How do we adjust the levels? Why does this camera look better than this camera? Probably because this is a shitty camera and this is a good camera. It's always going to be that way. It's always going to be shitty until we get another camera. But we was just, we was so focused on getting the video right that lo and behold, video comes out. It's good. People enjoy it. It's funny. Next week comes around. We record another video. And by the way, at the release of this podcast, it would be uploaded, but it would be like a week late. We just got so behind, me and Miguel both. I mean, we was so behind on everything. And editing these videos takes a minute, all right? It takes a while because you have to redo the podcast. You have to get all the footage on there. You have to redo the podcast. You have to line up the audio with the video, and then you have to cut. You know, each time someone talks, you have to cut back and forth. Regardless, it was just a lot of just tedious work that has to be done. And this was like Christmas time, so Thanksgiving. So like we was running around like crazy, and it didn't get done till like super late. So y'all gonna get 2 videos in a row, you know, hopefully, because I don't have to do much editing on this one. Because who am I gonna switch to? Casper? No, I'm not. I'm not going to switch to Casper. And Miguel, he's just going to be in the corner right here. I'm not sure if I can get Miguel right there, but I'm going to try to. And then the next week came around, and Miguel, he got, he wasn't feeling good. It's just, that's the way life goes. But here's the thing about Miguel, okay? And this is why I adore him as a friend, is he knows that this is something that I would like to do, and this is also something that he would like to do. This is something that we want to work. We want this podcast to work. We want this to be something that we do 24/7, because we love talking to each other. We love doing it. And if we can make other people happy, we would love to do that as well. It's just something that we just love doing. And he was sick, and he was like, all right, let's get this done. I mean, he looked like shit, man. But he still came on the podcast, and he talked. I mean, he was still with me, and it was good. I mean, I don't think he realized how much that meant to me, but it really did. And while all this was, and then the next week came around, and he wasn't feeling good. So I was like, oh man, we can just, I can try to take up some things off. Like I can try to, fondle the footage of the audios that we had on our iPhone. I really couldn't. I tried to get something out of it, but it just didn't turn out right. Y'all deserve better quality than that. And then this week came around, and he can't do it again. And, and I'm not upset at him at all, by the way. I don't want you to think that at all. I'm not upset at him, but I know why he's feeling this way is due to the amount of work and the amount of effort that he puts into everybody else other than himself. I know how everything that he's done up to this point has been unselfish. He's been so focused on other people, and man, I genuinely hate it. You know what I mean? I want him to get out of that. So I'm trying to make this work, for me and for him. And, I know it's weird me doing this episode by myself, because that's just not who we are. I mean, it's going to be me and a friend. It's going to be me and Miguel. I mean, this is what we're going to do. But you're just going to have to bear with me on this one. You're going to have to bear with looking at my ugly ass face for so long, okay? But I want to make this work, because I know how much he works, and he deserves a break. He deserves something just to be free with that. I mean, just be free with it. Don't have to worry about what he has to do. I mean, shit, I want to get him a new car. He needs a new car. It might be a fucking 2007 Prius, but or a Paco. What the fuck is that car? It's the one with the big ass window on the back. It might be one of them, but it's gonna be a car. It's gonna be something to get him from point A to point B, and he'll be grateful for it. I think, motherfucker. Let me know if he's not. I'm gonna whoop his ass. No, I'm not. So we just, we have fun, and that's kind of like the story about me and Miguel. We connected on a really deep level. Pause. But we connected on a deep level, and he is going to be considered my friend for as long as I'm alive, or at least to me, he's going to be considered my friend until the day that and it's going to be him, because he's old. I mean, he's older than me, so he'll knock over first, hopefully. If not, then we'll see. So just stick with us for the most part, and give us suggestions. You're going to see a lot more clips on TikTok, so if you come here from TikTok, what's up? How you doing? It's not just me all the time, so it's going to be me and him, and we're gonna get better quality. We're gonna get better production. We're gonna get better mics. We're gonna get better. We're just gonna get better. I mean, we're going to get better, and this is gonna be something that we do. This is gonna be something that we're gonna do continuously all the way up until we cannot do it no more. This is something that we love doing, me and him both. I love doing it. I want to do this. I would love to do this for a living. This is just, it's something I like doing. And Miguel, I know good and well that he'll want to do this for a living too. He just wants to own a ranch. And he told me that. He was like, he wants to own a ranch outside of everything with a couple farm animals and a couple chickens. He ain't going to fuck the chickens, but he will have these chickens, and he'll grow eggs. He'll get milk. Boy, he's going to be a farmer. And I know that might sound weird to you. He don't look like a farmer. He don't look like a farmer at all, but he's going to be a farmer because he's a good-ass person who likes to take care of motherfuckers for real. He's just a good dude, man. Miguel's just he's a good dude. And I hope people realize that, or I hope people notice that whenever these episodes come out and they get to see more and more of Miguel and more of his personality, and realize on how good he is. Because, you know, I feel like when we I wish we had a microphone and I wish we had a cameraman. Is this something that we can do? Do y'all know anybody that can run around with a camera and that can do this for us? Because listen, if we have mics and we have a camera on us at all times, our content will be out of this world on how good it'll be. Because if you think that the shit that we say on this podcast, on this YouTube channel is good, or Spotify, if you think that this is good, man, you are missing 90% of, we would be in the car, because like I said, I have to go pick them up. So we'll be in the car, you know, and we would be talking. And in the middle of everything, we would just stop and be like, "Oh fuck, save this for the podcast. Save it for the podcast, damn it!" And we get so caught up in our conversation and the time that we actually do spend with each other that we forget that we're going to do a podcast where all we do is talk. So, the conversations that we have, you know, outside of this camera, or outside of, you know, when we hit record, 10 times better, because we're censoring ourselves, we're limiting ourselves to certain things. And listen, Miguel's a funny ass dude, and I would like to believe that I am too. And if I'm not, so what? Whatever, I don't care. You know, I do. Tier. But yeah, we have great conversations 24/7, and we would love to do this for a job. We would love to just get here and be with y'all and have these conversations with each other and get out from having to stress over work and all that. So I want to do that for him. I mean, fuck all me. You know, I don't care. I mean, I'll work the 9 to 5 if I have to, but I want to do this for him. You know, I want this to be something that we can do together, and that we can grow together, and that, you know, we're able to be okay, you know, with our lives, with doing this. And I want that to be a thing. So I want that to happen. If it doesn't, then fuck me in the ass, you know. So not actually, pause. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say, really. It's hard to have a conversation with yourself, but I'm insane, so I can. No, I can't. But I hope this kind of, you know, gets close. I mean, I hope this ain't a super long episode, but I hope that this, you know, I hope this makes you appreciate Miguel a little bit more, first and foremost, and the work that he actually does put in. I hate that he cannot be on this episode, but he's going to be here next week. He's going to be here next week, and we're going to have a great conversation, and it's going to be a great episode. And I cannot wait to post it, and I cannot wait to share it. So this week you should be getting 2 episodes on YouTube, and then you'll get another episode next week with your favorite Hispanic, you know, and your favorite white guy. So yeah. Well, anyways, thank you for watching or listening, and both, motherfucker, and both. Thank you for both, and I hope this was a little bit entertaining. I just wanted to get something out, though. We're gonna make this work. You know, we're gonna succeed. There's no doubt about it. We have enough drive and we have enough passion. We're gonna succeed. We're gonna be great, and we're gonna be great. So, anyways, thank y'all for listening, and subscribe to our YouTube and hit that like button. and hit the dislike if you do not like me. I'm fucking retarded. Holy shit.